In a quiet valley surrounded by deep forests, there lived a young woman named Aira. She was 22 years old, gentle in nature, but afraid of almost everything. She feared making mistakes, feared speaking her truth, feared disappointing others, and most of all, she feared trying anything new. Every day, Ira watched other people live boldly while she stayed small. She hid her dreams inside her heart, letting them gather dust. She often whispered to herself, "Maybe bravery is something I was never born with." Deep inside, she felt a quiet sadness. She wanted to change, but fear always pulled her back. One evening, the elders of the village spoke about a mysterious old woman who lived deep inside the silent forest. They called her the Keeper of the Mountain, a wise woman who once traveled the world, teaching people how to awaken their inner strength. Now she lived alone, away from noise and chaos, helping only those who dared to find her. Hearing this, Aira felt something she had not felt in years. Hope, she decided that no matter how afraid she was, she would go. She whispered, "If courage is something I can learn, then I must try." And so her journey began. It took Ira 2 long days to reach the silent forest. The trees stood tall like guardians, and the air felt heavy but calm. At last, she found a tiny wooden hut covered in vines and moss. Outside the hut, the old woman was sitting on a stone, her eyes closed. Her face was wrinkled but peaceful, like someone who had walked through many storms and survived them all. Ira stepped closer and said softly, "Grandmother, I am afraid of everything. I want courage. Can you help me?" The old woman opened her eyes slowly, smiled, and said, "So, you wish to find the courage that already lives inside you? Then come, I will give you a task." She led Ira to a small clearing behind the hut. There, on the ground, lay a heavy stone, bigger than Ira's 2 hands together. The old woman pointed and said, "Carry this stone to the top of the hill and return. But listen carefully. You must hold the stone close to your heart the entire time. Do not drop it. Do not put it down." Ira was shocked. "How can I climb a hill while holding something so heavy?" The old woman simply smiled. "That is for you to discover." With trembling hands, Ira lifted the stone. It felt cold, rough, and heavier than she expected. Her heart pounded as she began walking. The path was steep and uneven. Branches scratched her arms, and the stone pressed hard against her chest. Many times Ira thought she would drop it. Her legs shook, her breath burned, and her mind screamed, "This is too hard." But she kept going. One step, then another, and another. Halfway up the hill, she wanted to cry at the top of the hill. Her legs almost gave up. Yet somehow, she reached. She stood at the peak, breathing hard, holding the stone tightly. A soft wind brushed her face, as if the world itself was proud of her. Slowly, she made her way back down. When Ira returned, the old woman looked at her and asked, "Tell me, child, how did it feel?" Ira wiped her tears and whispered, "It was hard. My body hurt, my mind wanted to quit many times, but something inside me kept saying, 'Just one more step.' I didn't know I had that strength." The old woman smiled gently. "That is the truth you came to find." Then she touched the stone and said, "This stone you carried was your fear, heavy, uncomfortable, always pressing on your heart. But today, you did not run from it. You carried it. You moved forward with it. And by doing that, you discovered your courage." Ira looked at her hands in surprise. So courage was not about removing fear. The old woman shook her head softly. No, courage is walking forward while fear still whispers. Courage is choosing action even when you doubt yourself. And every time you take one brave step, the fear becomes lighter. Ira closed her eyes, finally understanding. She had climbed a hill she once thought impossible. She had carried a weight she believed was too heavy. And now, something inside her had awakened. She felt taller, stronger, more alive. As she walked back home, the forest seemed brighter, and her heart felt lighter. She knew that the path ahead would still be filled with challenges. But she also knew she would never face them the same way again. Because once you discover your courage, you never truly lose it.